Sure, here's a 500-word story based on the topic. 12 mistakes older adults often make. Avoid them to stay healthy and happy. A lesson in living. 12 mistakes older adults often make and how to avoid them. Harold always considered himself pretty sharp for 75. He still drove, managed his own finances, and even coached his grandson's little league team on weekends. But after a minor fall in the kitchen and a confusing medication mix-up, his daughter Lisa insisted he visit a wellness seminar at the community center. Reluctantly, Harold agreed. That afternoon, he sat with a few dozen others in a sunny meeting room, notebook in hand, as a cheerful wellness coach named Marissa introduced herself. Today, she said, we're talking about the 12 most common mistakes older adults make, and how avoiding them can help you stay healthier and happier for years to come. Harold raised an eyebrow. Only 12? The room chuckled, and Marissa began. 1. Ignoring hydration. Many older adults don't drink enough water, she explained. Dehydration leads to fatigue, confusion, and even falls. 2. Skipping strength exercises. Walking is great, but we also need to build muscle to support joints and avoid injuries. 3. Poor medication management. Mixing up prescriptions can be dangerous. Use pill organizers or apps to stay on track. Harold nodded. That had nearly caused him a serious issue last month. 4. Not updating eyeglasses. Vision changes gradually. Outdated prescriptions lead to accidents. 5. Neglecting dental care. Oral health connects to heart health. Don't skip those cleanings. 6. Avoiding social interaction. Loneliness is as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Stay connected. Harold underlined that point twice. After his wife passed, he hadn't realized how quiet his days had become. Ma 7. Not adapting the home. Throw rugs, poor lighting, slippery stairs. Simple fixes can prevent big problems. 8. Eating a poor diet. Too many processed foods and too little fiber or nutrients can drain energy and health. 9. Ignoring mental health. Anxiety, depression, they're not just part of aging. Talk about them, get support. 10. Skipping routine screenings. Regular checkups help catch issues early when they're easier to treat. 11. Not getting enough sleep. Sleep needs change, but quality sleep remains essential to repair and health. 12. Refusing help. This one is big. Independence is great, but knowing when to ask for help is wisdom, not weakness. As the presentation wrapped up, Harold looked over his notes. He'd made at least half of those mistakes without even realizing it. But for the first time in a long while, he didn't feel judged. He felt empowered. That night, he called Lisa. I'm rearranging the living room tomorrow, he said. That rug's a death trap. Lisa laughed. So, the seminar helped? You could say that. Harold smiled. I've got 12 new rules to live by, and I think it's going to be a good year. Let me know if you'd like to turn part of this story into a voiceover. I can do that too. Absolutely. Here's a 500-word continuation of Harold's story, diving deeper into how he applied the advice from the seminar and how it transformed his day-to-day life. Harold didn't waste time putting the seminar's advice into action. The very next morning, he shuffled around the house with a notebook, identifying problem areas. The scatter rug in the hallway? Gone. The loose railing by the back steps? Fixed that weekend with his neighbor Tom's help. In the kitchen, he reorganized his cabinets, moving frequently used items within easy reach to avoid stretching and bending too much. Lisa dropped off a pill organizer that made managing his medications simpler and much safer. Every evening, He checked off a small list: drink more water, take a walk, stretch a little, and call someone just to chat. What surprised him most wasn't how easy the changes were, but how quickly they made a difference. Within 2 weeks, he felt more energized and slept better. He'd started doing light strength exercises in the mornings, using soup cans as makeshift weights, laughing at himself but sticking with it. His balance improved, and the stiffness in his knees wasn't as sharp anymore. He even caught himself dancing a little while cooking dinner. One Sunday afternoon, Harold decided to stop by the community center unannounced. He found Marissa preparing for her next seminar and offered to help. "I was one of the skeptics," he admitted, setting chairs in a circle. "But this stuff works. I feel like I've added years to my life and life to my years." Marissa grinned. "That's exactly why we do this." Soon, Harold became something of a local ambassador for senior wellness. At the cafe, he chatted with friends about hydration and routine checkups. At church, he encouraged the other widowers to schedule their eye exams and rethink their meal choices. He even started a gentle movement group at the center, where folks would gather twice a week to do light exercises, share health tips, and, most importantly, laugh together. One of the biggest changes Harold made was to his social life. Inspired by the talk on loneliness, he reached out to old friends and extended family. He rejoined a card group he hadn't attended in years and started volunteering twice a month at the library, reading to children during story time. The joy on their faces brought something back to him, something he hadn't realized he'd lost after his wife passed: purpose. Lisa noticed too. During one of her visits, she found Harold outside tending to a few tomato plants. "Dad," she said, genuinely impressed, "you're glowing." "I'm living," he said with a smile. "Really living." Harold's story became a quiet inspiration in his community. He hadn't just avoided the 12 common mistakes older adults often make. He'd transformed them into a roadmap for vitality. Each small change built upon the last, until his days felt fuller, lighter, and more connected. In the end, the lesson Harold wanted to pass on was simple. Growing older doesn't mean slowing down. It means getting smarter about how you live. And with the right mindset and a few smart choices, health and happiness are always within reach. Let me know if you'd like to turn a piece of this into audio. I can help with that next. Of course. Here's a 100-word paragraph to wrap up Harold's journey. As the seasons changed, Harold found himself looking forward to each new day with a quiet excitement. He no longer saw aging as something to fear, but as a chapter rich with possibility. The small adjustments he made had blossomed into habits, and those habits had reshaped his life. At his next checkup, Dr. Molina was amazed by his improved vitals and mood. "What's your secret?" she asked with a grin. Harold chuckled and tapped his notebook. Just stopped making the same old mistakes and started making better choices instead. He left the office feeling, in every sense, 10 years younger. Want to create a voiceover of Harold's words? Let me know.